This is the MAC, and we're gonna have these kind of games that are hard fought. Two teams battling, and really what it comes down to me is you have to be the team that has to execute when it's time to execute, gets the defensive stops when you get defensive stops, and make sure hey, the right guys, the right shots, limit your fouls, all those different things. But I thought we had some moments that we were really good out there. We had good flow. We were playing together out there in the court, and things. I thought there was times where we had just kind of forced some things and took some hard shots. Some of the things that I just thought that, and I told my team this, we gave away early in the game or different times, just some different back screen layups that never should happen. And we've got to make sure that never happens between defending the cut, helping on the cut, pressure on the ball. All those things would have taken away those kind of plays. And that's 6 points right there. And the other thing I talked to my team is, hey, when you got a chance to go 2-on-1 and you have breaks, you have to capitalize. We have to get fouled. We have to score. But we can't try to hit these home runs and throw the ball out of bounds or get turnovers and get nothing out of it. So learning lesson for us, and we'll learn. I know our guys fought like crazy to win the game. We just came up a little short.
Your team fights so hard every game. As a head coach, when you have a group like this that you do in the locker room, how do you strike the balance between the sense of urgency, trying to make some corrections on things that don't make you happy about a game like today, but also still praising that effort and appreciating what they're doing in the locker room?
I give them both. I keep it very honest with our guys. I think they know that about me, that, it's never personal. It's always about helping them play well and for our team to play better. And, the most important thing for me is for those guys to continue to grow and improve themselves. And if I don't tell them the truth about what's going on out there, how do you get better? And as long as they take things from that standpoint that, hey, he's telling me something that's going to help me in my real life, and that's what I was telling them, hey, it was an example, the melee on the floor where, you got everybody kind of scruffling for the ball and, guys kicking his leg out and guys getting tripped, tangled up. And next thing you know, 4 technical fouls are called. And I'm telling our guys, hey, look, if you're out at a party and somebody gets in a fight, are you going to get into the fight, or are you going to grab your teammates and get the heck out of Dodge? You grab your teammates, you get the heck out of Dodge. No different than you're on the court. There's a melee going on. Things are happening. Get your teammate, get off the court. That way we get 2 shots and gives us 2 points, get a chance to tie the game or get a little bit closer. So we're learning. And that's what happens when you have a lot of new faces, new players. I think Bryson, I think Spots had a good idea now. Their leadership is very valuable, especially on the court, not just in the locker room, not just off the court. And that's where those leaders got to step in.
Yeah, I was going to ask you, of course, everybody wants to know about that 8-minute series or so where between turnover, nobody being able to score, then the technical fouls happen. Not so much the details of the actual interaction, but how as a coach, what's the approach on trying to still focus on the actual game, the X's and O's, but also calming the bench down and getting them to
there's to me, there's so many moving parts happening at the same time. And I try to, first get my team, hey, get those. And that's where your assistant coaches are so valuable that, once you kind of get your team together, they can help continue to calm that down. But then, make sure the officials understand the viewpoints I'm seeing as well too, because for some reason sometimes you might have 6 eyes out there. They don't always see things the way you see it. So not that I'm always right, but I just saw the play totally different, and I thought we got penalized more than what we should have because we didn't instigate the situation. And I think I think that was just one of those plays that could have been a turning point the other way for us.
A couple of players that stuck out tonight. Of course, a slew of players, again, doing a lot of work across the board, but Colin Wilson Jr. was fantastic.
Yeah,
I think certainly one of his best games as an Eagle. And then Derek Batlett, in his first game, getting the starting opportunity. I thought he put up some nice numbers tonight and helped your team and played well down the stretch.
Yeah, I thought this was by far Colin's best game, and I thought he was efficient out there in the court. He imposed his will around the basket, driving in, attacking, scoring, getting fouled, all those different things. And I think when he continues to build himself and play to his strengths like that, it's going to be something that we're going to be very pleased about him being a force, I think, in the Mid-American Conference. And as you mentioned, DJ being a little bit shorthanded in the front line, and DJ kind of getting thrown in the fire. I thought he did a very admirable job. They've got a good post player in Sparks, and we had to fight him tooth and nail. And he had 11 points, but I think he had to work for a lot of those, and a lot of those came from the free throw line as well too. So yeah, we did do that, and I thought our perimeter wasn't as effective as I think they could have been. And we'll look at film and figure out what we can do more as a coaching staff, myself, just to make the game a little bit easier and free flowing for our guards, who I think are going to be our strengths, and we need to play through.
Of course, you always want to go through the negatives, but still have a W in the win column. But of course, that's not the situation tonight. Is there some silver linings of an early MAC loss like this that can help with the learning experience?
Yeah, I think if we learn from this the right way, we're going to continue to grow. We're going to continue to mature. As you mentioned before, our guys fight. They fight to win, and they fight and they give themselves a chance to win a game. So I'm pleased about that, proud about that. And now we've got to learn how to win those games like that.
I know you haven't gotten a chance to sit down and really do the scout yet, but any initial thoughts on Central Michigan and the challenge they'll present to you?
I saw them a little bit. I had a little bit of time off, so I got a chance to watch them on film. And I think their game was canceled today, so I don't necessarily know the status of that game on Tuesday yet. But I do know we'll see a lot of zone. We got to be prepared for that. They've got they play a lot of guys, and they've got kind of a group of guys that you can't key in on one guy, and it's like guys averaging 9, guys averaging 10, and so it's a balanced attack that we've got to be prepared for.
Coach, appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you.